Welcome back, family. Welcome back to Parent Power Hour. Another Monday with you, us, esteemed guests. As always, it is 5 o'clock. Thank you all for joining us here live once again. Brother Tyrone, we got another good one, man. Every week we say the show can't get better. How can we top last week's guest? How do we do it? It's impossible. Well, we have done it again. We are delighted to welcome President Brown of the Baltimore Teachers Union.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, man, for joining us. And of course, you call me the hostess with the most. I like to say you the hostess with the most, and the face of the franchise, Mr. Tyrone Barnwell family. And of course, you all at home, thank you so much for joining us once again. We're going to start off with our connection question. So President Brown made me laugh when I told her what the connection question was going to be, because I said, what is the funnest thing you're going to do this summer? And I'll let her answer for herself, but I just thought it was hilarious.
Well, my initial response to that is not going to be a very fun answer, because my summer, as well as almost all my other days, are dedicated to the members of the Baltimore Teachers Union. And however, I think it would be a lot of fun. I think one of the funnest things will be once we actually start arbitration for our class action grievance to get our money back for the unpaid days we work. That'll be pretty fun, I think.
All business. Any BTU member or teacher in this district should be smiling from ear to ear that the BTU president not even thinking about her own fund, but thinking about how she can best serve BTU. Wonderful. Mr. Barnwell.
Yes, sir. Yes,
How
sir.
about you, sir? The funnest thing, what's happening this summer?
You know what? So every summer is, of course, the national holiday on July 29th, which is that of my birthday. So no plans as of yet, but that is always a fun day just to, celebrate a new year, being here and all that good stuff. So hopefully this year we'll find a way to make that really, really fun.
Right. I didn't even know about that national holiday, probably because I'm just meeting you within this last year. So,
but now you know.
Yeah, I know. Happy Tyrone's Day. Probably for me, family, I keep saying it, just to get to the beach and get in some water. I'll be really happy when I'm able to do that. All right, to business. President Brown has already set the tone for us, family. Let's talk about the BTU and the role that they share with parents. What do you do? Explain to the greater audience what exactly you do and your connection with parents as well.
So the three main things that the Baltimore Teacher Union does is we negotiate wages, benefits, and working conditions for about 2/3 of the staff members in Baltimore City Public Schools. So when we negotiate wages, we're negotiating so that our staff members get fair wages for what they do. And this translates into working with parents, or also advocating for parents, because many of our parents and community members are also staff members of the Baltimore City Public School System. And we want to be advocating for fair wages for any worker. And so also, when someone is being paid the way they're supposed to be paid, there's increased productivity. You can expect more. And so we want this for our students. We get what we pay for. So we want to make certain that the workers in Baltimore City Public Schools are getting fair wages. We also advocate for the best working conditions possible. And working conditions translate into learning conditions for our students. And so for example, a working condition is that a teacher or a paraeducator or anybody that is involved in classroom instruction should not be made to substitute a class when unless there's a mutual agreement between that staff member and the principal and administrator. And it should only be asked of this person to do that if there's some type of an emergency, and an emergency is considered some type of unforeseen circumstance. However, oftentimes we have staff members that are asked to be long-term subs in cases where there's not an emergency. We have an issue with getting substitutes. So oftentimes teachers are asked to substitute classes that they wouldn't otherwise be teaching. And that is a disservice to our students. We have some of our students that are in classrooms that have substitutes for 6 months, and those substitutes are not always uh, substitutes that meet all the requirements. Sometimes these people are people that work in different capacities in the school, and they're just asked to kind of sit in, and that is not the best learning conditions for our students. Also, we fight for things as simple as, most recently, we asked for our audiologists to have running water or a sink, so that way when they drain the students' ears, they can wash the utensils. Um, Unsurprisingly to me, but maybe surprising to our audience, that was, we were not able to secure that in our contract, and that is a working condition that translates into a learning environment for our students, because of course we want the space that our students are serviced in to be sanitary. Also, we negotiate benefits. We are the Baltimore Teachers Union is known as having some of the best benefits around, and we are very proud of that. And we need that because, as we all know, the staff members of Baltimore City Public Schools take on a lot of challenges. They have to overcome a lot of barriers. They are presented with educating the most intelligent students that you can come by, and you have to be constantly on your toes to be ready for those geniuses. And so, you know, we want to make certain that the people that are supporting our students and educating our students and influencing our students are well. And in order to be well, we want to make certain that they have the best benefits around, so that way that there are no excuses for them to make certain that they take care of themselves.
Thank you very much for that answer. You know, you touched on a lot of things, and I know this is off script, but I'm just curious because you're in this position, and I'm just wondering, with so many things that are unresolved, you're stepping into this position. What is your mindset? I mean, how do you figure out, okay, this is important? I mean, everything's important, but how do you prioritize? You understand? How do you prioritize what it is you're going to do, you know, to try to facilitate change? I know that's not on, I know we didn't script for that, but I'm just curious.
Well, there's several different factors. Sometimes it's a timeline. For example, like grievances. There's a timeline on grievances. So if I'm going to make a decision to file a grievance, a timeline is a part of that decision-making process. Another factor is my members' interest in the matter. I run a lot of stress tests to see what are my members really willing to stand up for, how far they really willing to go, and the issues that the members seem to be ready to move out on, ready to advocate the most on, those are the issues that also become prioritized. Also, there are issues that help and benefit the union or labor as a whole, like getting a whole classification of workers in the union, or getting people that are unaffiliated with any union to be in your bargaining unit. So so it could depend on time, it can depend on member interest, member capacity to engage. or it could depend on a bigger labor agenda. Also, the community and parents and students are a driving force, because at the end of the day, the school system is a partner of the community. And the school system, the job of the school system is to operate an institution that facilitates learning. However, my job as the president is to take care of the human capital that is used to facilitate that learning. And so, but my priorities are based on whatever drives taking care of those individuals. And a lot of times that comes from what the community wants from those individuals, what type of support those individuals may need from community and parents. And of course, we want to be guided by our students, because our students teach us how to teach them. So there are several factors that come about in prioritizing. I think a lot of times there's always times where we have to juggle between priorities and urgency. There's a lot of priorities, but everything isn't urgent. And so that's a whole nother layer of the conversation. So I hope that answers your question, even though it was a pretty complex answer, but that's how my decision-making process is, pretty complex all the time.
And I appreciate that. I don't often get a chance to speak to a president of a organization such as yours, and just rife with all of the things that you're trying to work to change for such an important group of people, the teachers and the staff of Baltimore City. Tyrone, anything from the hotline? I know it's a little bit early.
Yeah, a little early. However, we are in high numbers.
Oh,
So I'm asking you all that are here to continue to share, comment, post your questions. We do want to shout out some folks that are here, our regulars, of course: Joanne, Nataki, Shanika, Raven, Barbara. We got Adam Jackson, Marvin McKinstry, Tari. We got James Torrance. We got Yvette, who says, President Brown, make sure that you have some fun this summer. Thank you for everything. We got a Brittany Johnston, Dana, Kenyatta, just a few, Barbara, and Fandrea Bowman, Shirley, a lot of folks. We love the support. Please keep on watching. Again, I ask that you share, get this information. We are joined by yet another esteemed guest. This is the president of the Baltimore Teachers Union, and we are discussing in reopening the schools and the relationship with the BTU and parents. So y'all, this is absolutely important. Ask your questions and place your comments. We do have one question. Well, we have two questions that I'm going to ask President Brown from our online viewers. And one is, make sure you get, President Brown, make sure you get our money. That's a comment from a staff member. But anyway, one question is, what is your take on this upcoming school year distance learning or AB schedule? That's how I was asked. Do you mean, how does she, what does she choose? What does she think is best? Because it seemed like they're asking two questions in one, with distance learning or AB, the AB schedule. And then another one is, what is the teachers union doing to get input from teachers on reopening strategies, and how often is the BTU negotiating or discussing with city schools leadership?
Once again, Tyrone, our online audience is trying to take our positions. Those are my questions. Literally, I'm looking at those questions. So thanks a lot, family, for making me look.
That's good for us. We know we ask what the people want to know. So it works for us. We're in alignment, right?
Very true.
People's work. So y'all can't have our jobs. But go ahead, President Brown.
Everyone is doing great, and these are great questions. The first question was, how do I feel about distance learning, and also the 80 days?
Yeah, the 8, yeah.
So I would say there are three things that I would think that needs to happen with either of these ideas, which is proper planning, proper resources, and proper input. First of all, any distance learning that rolls out needs to be properly planned out, which includes time for the people that are expected to facilitate distance learning to be trained on the platforms they're going to be using, to have time to practice on the platforms they're going to be using, for the students and parents that are going to be supporting those students to also be trained on the platforms that are going to be used in distance learning, and also have time for safe practice around distance learning. We need to make certain we have resources. Whether we do AB days or distance learning, both of those are going to uh, need devices. And so we need one-to-one devices for our students, and we need one-to-one devices for our educators. I also think we need the proper input. We need to make certain that decisions are not being made top down, and that the people that are most directly impacted by the decisions that are going to happen around distance learning or AB days are included in decision making. And those directly impacted groups are students, parents, uh, teachers, related service providers, paraprofessionals, school-related personnel. There's so many different people involved in making decisions around distance learning or AB days. And I think that without the proper input from those stakeholders, the plans will have some major shortfalls. There was also a question around how the union is soliciting input from teachers. We're actually co-sponsoring a town hall on July 9th at, I don't want to put the time out there because I can't remember it off the top of my head, but when I get a break, I'll put it in the chat, or maybe if one of my members are watching, they know and can put it in the chat. But that'll be a national discussion around what reopening looks like. Also, we will be having something kind of like a talk show. It's called Listen. We're going to be launching our first one on July 10th, and we're going to have several members on there that are going to be discussing some different issues. And I'm certain one of those issues will be reopening, and following town halls will also allow members to give their feedback. We also have some members designated to be on work streams that the district is facilitating, and those people will be supported so that they can solicit feedback from the bigger membership. I'm certain that eventually a survey will come out. We will be finding as many different ways to solicit input from our members on reopening schools as possible. There's many I've already mentioned, and if any members have any ideas, please reach out to us and propose those ideas. And then as far as our discussions with the district, right now we have tri-weekly discussions with the district. Those discussions are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where we communicate the concerns that are coming from our members, and attempt to get answers from the district, and many other things that surround immediate concerns, future concerns, past concerns, anything that comes to mind at that time.
Thank you. Well, you know what, Tyrone, I'm gonna step aside because we appreciate you all, family. We're gonna take your questions directly to President Brown. Thank you all for asking them. Go ahead, Tyrone. Go right ahead.
We'll do that. Switch up a little bit. We have a lot. Again, thank you all. Please continue sharing. They coming in, but we want to reach them. And the first one I will start off with is, and I have plenty more, so many more. Do you feel the district is adequately concerned about teachers?
Well, I think it depends on what you, how you define concern. I think that district leadership would say they were concerned about teachers. I think that the district leadership and union leadership has different concerns about teachers. Oftentimes, district leadership's concern is teachers being available for students and families, how they're going to evaluate what teachers are doing for students and families, and how they're going to hold teachers accountable for what they're doing for students and families.
Okay. If a teacher tests positive for COVID-19, do they quarantine for 14 days? Are those sick days? And will they still be required to teach while in quarantine? It's comment after that said, don't put teachers in harm's way when the virus is still actively making people sick.
Teachers get paid if they're quarantined, and no, they don't have to teach.
Okay, great. There's your answer. A comment here. I hope and pray that we stay home in the fall. We do not have wave 1 of COVID-19 under control yet, and wave 2 and the flu are coming in the fall with the flu and other viruses. Okay, question. Teachers understand that students need to return to school, but the district does not seem sufficiently concerned with teachers' health and safety. Question for you, President Brown. What accommodations are being discussed for staff who are older and are immunocompromised? What if we live with someone susceptible to the infection?
Well, the BTU will be proposing several different demands that we want for reopening of schools, and for our senior population. What we would be suggesting is that they have the option to work virtually. Actually, that I think that would be a plausible suggestion for anyone that has some type of issue with re-entering into brick and mortar buildings. So I can't say much about that because there are some parts of reopening schools that BTU will be negotiating on, and there are some parts that the district has just the final say on. However, regardless, as we normally do, BTU members and BTU leadership will all be working together to make certain that we have the best protocols in place necessary to protect our staff members. And I just want to communicate to the members, communities, parents, and students that this is not going to be as simple as asking the district for what we want, and BTU leadership telling the district what we want. We're going to have to leverage other forms of encouragement to make certain that the district actually takes into account what we're asking for. And and that's a common theme that I will be making certain that I reiterate, because oftentimes people become complacent with asking the oppressor for something. And I think that is I think that's an unrealistic expectation, to constantly ask the same institution that's oppressing you to bring you out of that oppression. We're going to have to lead that fight. I'm ready to lead that fight, and I hope my members are ready to lead that fight with me.
Wait a minute, Tyrone. We're going to have to get a segment called Nuggets of Wisdom. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, President Brown with the oppressive.
Brown will be on here with the Nuggets of Wisdom.
Asking the oppressive. We done asking. Let me go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, ask next question.
President Brown, duty-free teachers lunch. How if the children are eating in the classrooms?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of time we don't even have duty-free teacher lunch now. We're supposed to, but it doesn't happen now because unfortunately we are not fully staffed. And even when we are fully staffed, because we tend to police our students instead of support our students, we still have eighth grade educators that have to do things like walk their students to the lunchroom and go back and get them. So, you know, by the time you do that, you really don't have a lunch period. Uh, and so that's another thing. Contractually, we're supposed to have a duty free lunch. But what are we willing to do to enforce our contract? You know, we have two choices. We can say it's in a contract, but we do it anyway because we are in fear. We don't want to deal with the retaliation. It's easier to say no, or we can work together as a membership and come up with a strategic plan on how to enforce a duty-free lunch. We still have lunch aids in our PSRP contract. And for those of you that may not remember, once again, PSRP is our paraprofessionals and school-related personnel. And so we technically, the district could hire lunch aides to be to facilitate or supervise lunch. You know, so you know it's more of how do we force the district to prioritize the same way that parents, students, community members, and school staff members think we should be prioritizing.
I want you to know that you do have your members on here that's saying, yes, they're with you. We're ready to fight. It's not just you. It's time to plan, plot, organize, and mobilize. The union is all of us. So people are in support of what's going on. The question is extremely important. I'm trying to, it's so many y'all. I do want you all to know that we do have some other stuff that we got to get through too. So I'm trying to ask as many questions as possible. What I am going to do is ask President Brown, if she don't mind, some of the questions that we may have not got to, that we could send it to her and we'll post her answers under the question on a, you know, on the feed. If that's okay with you, President Brown, when you get the, you know, chance to answer. Okay. And then we'll post it on Facebook so we can get back to William, but I am going to, and then let me see. Home will be hospitalized and I cannot be, but okay, let me go back to with the virtual distance process. How was the union? Okay, if we are doing AB day with virtual distance processes, how is the union planning protect against unreasonable expectations? If we are teaching all day with half classes in the AB format, will we be expected to support the virtual classes from our own time or provided work time to support the virtual learners? Right now, what I have heard sounds like a full day plus type situation.
At this time, we're not doing AB Day. That's not something that the union has agreed to. It is an option that the district leadership has put on the table. And if for some reason we do agree to something like that, then once again, the members would be a part of crafting what that looks like. Once again, I want to redirect members from asking the district what things are going to look like and waiting for the district to decide what things are going to look like. And we need to tell them what we want it to look like and what we're comfortable with facilitating, because we are the frontline workers. We are the most valuable resource in the district. So, you know, every single one of those questions, instead of us posing those questions to the district, if AB days is something that members decide that they want to move forward with, members will also be a part of answering those questions. And to the short answer is, I don't know the answers to those questions, and I would never take the position to answer those questions without yielding to my membership first.
Got you. Definitely want to just show Love and respect to Courtney Marie, asking about health and work and wanting to know. She says it's extremely important to her to find out, how things would work with sickness and being paid and all that stuff for them. She says because her spouse is going through extremely aggressive chemotherapy. And if she brings this home, he will be hospitalized and she cannot be with him. And obviously he would probably die from the complications. So, like this is real. And thank y'all for the questions and the comments. Thank you, President Brown, again for being here answering the questions. Angela Campbell, for staff members that have school-age children that would need care if we have any kind of alternating schedule, has there been any consideration of site-based childcare for staff members' children?
For the first person, the sick leave question, they need to reach out to their field rep. They can call Baltimore Teachers Union office, or they can go to the website, baltimoreteachers.org, because they need to run the situation by their field rep to get proper guidance. Also, as far as child daycare, what the union is going to be proposing is that if teachers and PSRPs are required to report to schools prior to child daycare services being permitted to open for children of non-essential employees, that the board shall establish child daycare services in each school and shall bear the full cost of staffing such services. I'm gonna sound like a repeated record, y'all. That's what union leadership is going to propose. If that's what union members want, once again, we're going to have to fight for it. We're going to need our parents to help us. We're going to need our students to help us. We're going to need our community members to help us, because everything I just said, as realistic as it sounds, that's a lot of dollar signs connected to it. And so we better be ready to know the budget, know how much that's going to cost the district, and know where they can get it from.
Yep. Got you. I'm telling you, like, bro, they are rolling in. Thank y'all. Thank you for sharing, Rashid. Students, families, staff, and everyone else in the city being put at risk of death cannot be considered an acceptable level of risk. The district seems to think of us as numbers, not people. So it doesn't matter if the numbers are a little bad for a while. And I mentioned that we have a lot of people who likes that comment. Chris, love you. I love you too, Chris. We love you. TDP loves you. We absolutely do. Parents, I can't express enough. And this was important for us to do. For us, this is why we need to work together, because if our teachers are protected and taken care of, they can take better care of our kids. So we have to be in this fight fully with them. So when they're ready to go and fight for what they need, we need to be with them in full solidarity, ready to speak, because if they're not well and they don't get what they need, how can we expect for our babies to get what we need? More on the lunch question, not asking just duty free. We were told that when we return to school, the children will be eating in the classroom. So more of the question was, what are the teachers expected to do? Are we staying with the class, which means it will not be duty free if we stay with our classes the entire time?
So as far as the we are numbers to the district comment, I do agree that a lot of times district leadership looks at staff as numbers and money, and that is and also see us as dispensable, despite the narrative that they may state in public. However, I also want us to use that same concept, numbers, to flip that narrative, because there's power in numbers. And the Baltimore Teachers Union has about 7,000 members in it. We are 2/3 of the Baltimore City public school staff. And so if we organize and mobilize and work together, we have a lot of power in the school district. We actually have a lot of power in Baltimore City. And so let's not allow other people to tell us what numbers mean. We are not dispensable. We're actually indispensable, and we're very powerful when we come together. And then as far as the children eating in the classroom, once again, that's hearsay. I know a lot of people are hearing things, but nothing has been agreed upon between the union and district leadership. And when we do agree upon something and we are clear on what is going to happen moving forward, we will communicate to our members as we have been on what the clearest guidelines we can possibly give you all are. But at this time, we have not engaged in discussions with district leadership about children eating in the classroom. However, if that discussion does come about, once again, we will be asking our members how they want that to look. And we will be using the feedback and input that we get from our members, our parents, and our students to guide those discussions with the district. And we will keep you abreast of how that communication goes.
Got you. I wanted to specifically say that I'm just going to ask these last three, William, and turn it back over to you because we done took your whole.
Listen, man, this is quite a moment, Tyrone, because herein we have people who may not be able to ever speak to President Brown directly. Although I'm sure if she had the time in the world, she'd listen to everybody's individual question, but she doesn't. So this is a great way to accomplish that. So that's okay. Go ahead, y'all. I'll get y'all next time.
And I promise you, they coming.
No, next show they don't get no questions, Tyrone. Not a one next show.
So and we'll have a follow-up with President Brown as well, you all. Anyway, so what couple of so super important, and there are many more, so I'm not undermining any of them, but that jumped out to me. One, we have a parent, okay, let's do this. Dr. Shirley Russell wants to know, is there will any money be included in the budget that will include mental health care for our teachers and students? And Dr. Russell, we talked about that, before this week, and that is huge, humongous, okay? So you can sit on that, President Brown, then, and think about this as well as I go through more questions. We have a parent on here that wants to know, I love this, I'm with you, how can the parents help with enforcing these new demands that come from teachers? And then we also have a teacher on here that says, what's the best way for members to join in the fight?
Okay, so as far as mental health being in the budget, the Baltimore City Public School Board's budget is on their website. I believe it's public information. And I'm certain there's always a line item for mental health. I think the bigger question is it adequate money in the line item for mental health? And I don't know that number off the top of my head, but based on my informal observations and experience in the school system, I can tell you it's not, because we still don't have a social worker in every school, a school psychologist in every school, guidance counselor in every school. And then on top of that, we don't have a proportionate amount of Black counselors in every school, and Black social workers in every school, and Black school psychologists in every school. And so I'm sorry I can't answer your question more completely than that, but you can access the budget on the website. And if not, please feel free to reach out to Tyrone and he'll get to me somehow, and we will get the budget sent out. How can parents help? Firstly, there's going to be an upcoming board meeting on July 28th at 5 p.m. Parents can tune in and also sign up for public comment. Actually, we need parents to attend every single board meeting that ever exists in the history of Baltimore City Public Schools having board meetings. We need you to sign up for public comment every single time. We need you to know who the board members are and call them whenever you want to and email them whenever you want to, because we need to humanize the board members. A lot of times people throw around the word board, but they don't really know who it is. The people on a board have students that attend Baltimore City Public Schools. They live in Baltimore City. They work in agencies in Baltimore City. And so you don't have to wait to interact or engage with them at a board meeting. You can call them or email them or have a one-on-one with them or several other things. Also, we are going to be having a series of ways that parents can co-sponsor and collaborate with the Baltimore Teachers Union on different ways we can solicit feedback from parents and also community members and students. And so we are in the works of planning a BTU parent town hall. And so if you're interested in helping us plan that, please reach out. Tyrone can get that information to me. Also, you can tune in to the reopening schools discussion that's happening on July 9th at 6 p.m. I will put that information in the chat so that can be shared. Tyrone, I think I sent that to you in a text message.
Yes.
Can you put that in there? Also, parents can join their PTO, which is a parent teacher organizing committee, or their PTA, parent teacher association. And if there is not one at your school, start one. And if you need help, Tyrone said, call him and he can help you. Per the PTA president of Baltimore, the last time I checked, there's only 11 PTAs in Baltimore City Public Schools. I'm not certain how many PTOs there is, but I can guarantee you there's not one in every school. And that's what we need. That should be a goal of ours. Also, another way parents can help is to participate in the survey that we issue and be vocal and voice your opinion, and don't allow people to tell you that because you don't communicate in the way that they want you to communicate or that's comfortable for them that you stop communicating. Because we need our parents to speak up, because our parents actually have the most power. Parents can get policies and change initiatives stopped much quicker than an entire 7,000 people membership, I guarantee you. And if parents need support in organizing and getting trained in organizing, I know that's something that Teachers Democracy Project does, but we need you to get trained in organizing, because as I said, it's power in numbers and organized people. And we don't need you, we need you to be able to get 10 more parents to come to the work. So those are some ways that parents can get involved.
I will add to that, you know, not just pulling her coattail or doing anything, but this is real. This woman is real about her works. Before this show, before she was even going to be a guest, we already had a discussion on how do we get parents engaged with the union, you know, to be able to make this stuff happen. So it's real. As she stated, myself, Teachers Democracy Project, we will do trainings for free for parents who want to organize in their school and become organized. Good thing came up. We just got confirmation that the district is willing to come on this show now, either July, that we're looking at. We're going to look to do that show on the 20th. So please stay tuned for that. Can we pose questions like this? I would love them to have them really have answer stuff honestly and be recorded. You know, we all would love for them to answer it honestly, or, you know, we'll have them on and hopefully it's there, and it'll be recorded, because anyone can definitely record, you know, the show here from your own. You can screenshot it. You can always come back and play it back, because we do archive all of our shows. So they will be there. What else? When will we know their plan? Teachers need to plan for their families as I know you all know. I don't know, President Brown, if you have a more definitive date that we'll know their plan, you can put it out there. All I do know is that they were not required to have a plan done until what is the middle of next month, right?
Right.
That's when they were required to. I don't know if President Brown knows anything else, but that's what we were told, that they did not have to have a plan producing out there to the middle of next month. But again, President Brown, if you want to add anything to that, you can.
Sure. First, I want to go back to how members can get involved. They can get involved in all the same ways as the parents. Come to the board meetings, reach out to the board members, and also attend the town halls, and also join committees. The district coming on July 20th, I just wanted to give everyone that's going to tune in some advice that instead of just posing questions to district leadership, you want to give them proposals and ask them what they think about the proposal and will they consider it. I think you will get further along that way than answering questions, because asking questions gives people the ability to say yes and no, I don't know, or I'll get back to you. And I don't think those are the responses that you want. And lastly, as far as plans, no, I don't know. Ever since before March 13th, when school buildings close, I've been asking for plans. I've been encouraging plans. It's been all about plans. And the pushback that we often get from district leadership is that they don't know what's going to happen. My response to that is, right, that's the whole point of a plan, to plan for what might happen. So maybe we need several plans for all the different scenarios that might occur. This is a constant conversation I have with the district. I do not know a deadline for plans. I've asked for one several times. And like I said, I'm beyond asking at this point. If community members, parents, and students want to convene to talk about us putting a deadline on the district and us demanding that there's a deadline, and us deciding what the deadline is, that's a conversation that I'm more interested in. However, I will ask for the 2,800th time on my next district call if there's a deadline for plans, and report back out to members. And one more thing I want to say is that if you notice in this conversation, I've been saying district leadership instead of the district. And that's important to me, because what a lot of people don't know is that there are a lot of district employees that are in the Baltimore Teachers Union. Actually, many of the employees that work at Baltimore City Public School headquarters are in the PSRP chapter of the Baltimore Teachers Union. Those are our paraprofessionals and school-related personnel. Those people at the district, those people include people in IT, in the Family Community Engagement Office, our staffing specialists, our budget analysts, engineers. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And I believe that for far too often in the union and in the community, we've thrown around words like district board, and we need to become a little bit more intentional and purposeful about how we use these words, because once we identify who district leadership is, who the district is, and who the board is, then we can better decide who we hold accountable for different decisions. And in order for us to be able to make all of these monumental steps and all of these sensical accommodations for our students, we're going to have to be united. And so when we use language like the district and the union, it perpetuates a narrative that actually divides my members. And so I know most people like, no one really cares, President Brown, but I just want to put it out there that if we can, when we talk about the CEO, the chief academic officer, chief officer of human capital, head of labor relations, we refer to those people as district leadership, not the district.
Okay. I mean, got you. I always want to send out and show love and support when we get it. So Diamonte, comment from someone, Diamonte is the best leader for the BTU. She is not afraid of the status quo, nor bucking at the system and norms. We are with you and are in this together. So, want to put that out there so people are totally loving you. And that's important. That's important, not just because it's her, but these are the type of leaders that we need in place, now. The status quo has got to go, and we need leaders who are going to do the work of the people, and that's not scared to buck, at those. Yeah, parents have questions. So to testify to school board meeting, you email Karen Lawrence between 3 and 4 on the day of the board meeting, and I will post the link again in a second and pin that comment. But you could also find that information on our Facebook page at Teachers Democracy Project. If you're not already following us, please follow Teachers Democracy Project on Facebook. We'll put the Instagram information out as we build out. We host these shows every single Monday from 5 to 6. This is President Brown's first time on, but she's very familiar with TDP, and she will be back. As you've heard us say 5 or 6 times, I can contact her some way because I'll go sit on a doorstep and find her after her 36 meetings in one day. But I'll get in contact with her. But again, please like our page, follow our page, continue to watch our podcast every Monday. And then even on Thursdays, we have a more informal one that's at Tyrone's house, where we also discuss an array of parent issues and what parents are dealing with, and just give a space for parents to be able to talk and get things off their chest, and we try to find answers as we can. We've had, well, I'm not going to read that comment. I'm not going to share that with you. That's not nice. We don't want to go there. Thank you for explaining this, President Brown. We need a new board. They are useless. The major of the members are on the side of district leadership and not that of parents, teachers, and students. So comments of folks, so wanted to put that out there also. And as I said, y'all, I know people are asking me the questions. I did miss some questions from you all, but I am going to send those questions to President Brown as she stated it was okay. And I'll comment the answer under your question, so you will get the notification and you come back and find the answer. This is a good thing in this world. Thank you, Brother Michael. This was the purpose of us doing this, to get word out there, to connect. TDP, we stand for, we believe, we know that to make the educational system better and work best for our kids, which we're there to serve, is for parents and teachers to have the best relationship possible. So that's the reason why we want the information to get out to parents, to try to connect with people in as many ways as we possibly can. So again, we ask y'all to continue to share and post so that we can reach more people. The numbers are going up, but we still need to go up even higher, right? Like, we know we got 70,000 students enrolled in public schools, right? So we have their parents. So our numbers are nowhere where they need to be at to be reaching everyone. So please share, help us get this platform and get this out there. We like that. William, I'm gonna give it back to you.
Well, I mean, for what? For what? It's 5:58, man. You know what I mean? What you giving it back to me for? No, family, thank y'all so much. I'm so glad, Tyrone, that you messaged me, because it was very important that you all get to talk to President Brown directly. You could hear from her live and direct. And she made all the different references that you need to make in a normal chain of command in order to get some of your grievances heard. But you had a great opportunity to speak to her. I would just say, closing thoughts, I'm really happy that we got these nuggets of wisdom, though, from President. But I'm telling you, Tyrone, we got to have a little segment somehow, some way.
It's going to be a series. I think it can be a series when we go back over the show, the nuggets that we have. Yep. Just like nuggets from from Black leaders or something
Mhm.
like that, you know, that's going on this time. And just had President Brown, and we had the people from, I cannot think of the name of
Aquaben. We had the people from Aquaben.
absolutely the principal from the
The bar. Yep.
you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Which is so much good stuff that's coming out. Again, some people may have missed. As we stated, we've been here. Y'all go back and check out some of the old shows that we have that are on our Facebook page. And we love guests. If you have information, share it with us as a teacher or as a parent. As I said, Thursdays are a more formal show. It's my show. I can squeeze you in there if I want you. Hit me up. You know, come on. You even can catch President Brown on there sometimes with us, relax and listen and hearing the needs of the parents, right? And what parents want. And that's where stuff come from, because we are connecting directly with this. This is my first time on here, and I will be with you on next Monday. Thank you, brother.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Listen.
Final thoughts, Tyrone?
So final thoughts, final thoughts for me is thank you, President Brown. Again, I was super ecstatic and happy, and you notice when you won the presidency, not just because you know, like in those times, the BTU wasn't trying to connect with parents in that way I could think of, and it was leadership that was there for umpteenth years, and nothing wasn't changing. But I also knew that I knew you as an individual, as a person, and I knew from our previous work that the status quo was not going to stand. So I appreciate, you know, you and your team. You have some great folks working with you, Corey and Natalia, and just to name a couple. I can't even go through everybody else. I don't want to film, so I'm gonna shut up. So I can't remember my name. I don't want nobody to punch me in my face. But you have a great team of folks that's behind you and stuff. But just, I don't know, like, thank you. Thank you for connecting with parents. Like, that does my heart so much joy, you know, that we actually have someone in place trying to connect with parents on that level. So I appreciate you for that. What else? Thank you for taking time out to be here with us now. I know those are my, keep doing what you're doing. You already know I'm a rider. However I can support you, I'm going to support you. My network that support me gonna support you, because they, you know, all that good stuff. Keep on pushing and doing this, man, because where it may seem like it's not rocking the boat as quick as we want, but it's shaking, you know, it's shaking, and it's going to happen, and we will see good change, you know, as time go on, man. It's so much. Thank you for my two daughters. Thank you for my other third. Thank you for everyone that have joined us on this evening. I see a couple of people say they'll be back next. Please come back next Monday and the Monday after that, and try to join us on a Thursday as well as you can. Same time, same Facebook network, and all that good stuff. Please join us. We will also be uploading these older videos to our YouTube channel, so that folks can go back and check it out there as well. So much love coming to you, President Brown. You got so many thank you, President Browns. I'm not missing them. William, we even got to thank you. We got
thank me for what? For shutting up? Okay. Nah, it's all right.
We got one, the President.
See if I'll be here next Friday.
100.
Teaching us, William.
But yeah, those
parents teach us. So we do thank y'all for that. And y'all facilitating a learning space here.
Final thoughts, President Brown.
Well, I just want to say that as far as that whole board thing, there are 2 seats coming up. I have already reached out to Tisha Edwards to figure out what that process will look like. And I will be following up with Mayor Young to get an actual response, because I haven't gotten a response yet. So please look out for information on applying for the school board. We need about 6 people to apply for the school board because the community panel, which I'm a part of, gets to send 3 people per spot to the mayor, so that the mayor can, well, hopefully choose from those 3 nominees that the community panel sends his or her way. So let's make certain we have people are applying for the school board. Don't wait for other people to apply. It's you. We need you to apply. Okay. And I just want to say thank you. I watch these parent power hours often and I learn a lot. I appreciate you all facilitating this learning space. And another way that people can help is by actually sharing what you just saw and tuning in. And as I always say, as an organizer, bring 10 more people with you and get them to tune in too.
Absolutely.
I hope everyone has a good day.
Thank you. Revolutionary voice of the teachers, unseated, like you said, Tyrone, a long-standing regime, if you will, in Baltimore City Teachers Union. President Brown, thank you so much for joining and being accessible. And I like Tyrone said, I'm sure this is one of your 36 meetings today, probably 37, probably got a couple more to go to. But thank you so much for indulging us and answering those questions directly. We appreciate you. Join us this Thursday at Tyrone's house, when again, I will be quiet because Tyrone will be at the helm. But today, y'all tried to shut me up. No, I'm just playing. Thank y'all. We really, those questions that y'all asked were the ones that we needed. And I'm glad that we can push our agenda to the side and let folks who really need to hear this information right now, because a lot of decisions that they need to make are right now. So it was a blessing. Like the president said, tell 10, bring 10, share with 10, and all of those things. Join us back next Monday, 5 o'clock, family. Be peaceful, be safe. We love y'all.